Happy Sunday and welcome everyone to episode 44 of Video Game Club. As always, I am your host Tyler, and I have with me today the Origami King, Austin.
Hello.
Hello. And the wonderful Miss Probably Talk to Every Single NPC in the game, Mox.
Yes, I do. They all have something to say, and it changes when things happen.
It's so true. They do. They do have a lot to say, which is really nice, actually, in this game.
This is just have you ever seen that? There's like a 2-part video on YouTube. I think in total it's like 16 hours long of a guy who just talks to every NPC in Sonic Adventure.
Oh yeah,
after
you told me
every
about
event
this.
happens.
Oh my goodness.
He goes and finds all their different dialogue.
That's
No.
Mox right there.
Oh my goodness. No, because it's a Sonic game. I will never be in that game.
Yeah, except she adds it to the wiki herself. Gosh. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good. What have you been playing besides Paper Mario, Mox?
I finished Pokemon Legends Arceus and my Living Dex, and they did do an update that has, what are they called? Mega, breakout, whatever things where there's tons of Pokemon. And I was I'm bored of this. And
with
so
the red eyes, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, some of them. Yeah. So I lent it to my neighbors. So hopefully when I get it back in like 6 months, there'll be something else I can actually do with it because I do want to play that game until it is dead. And so other than that, I've been playing Bravely Default 2, trying to beat that.
Did you see that they announced the new generation Pokemon?
Yes. It's interesting. I'm intrigued. I hope the quality of life updates are as quality as they promise.
Same. I guess we don't really know that much information right now, but
yeah,
it will be interesting to see if it is like a hybrid of Arceus and like Sword and Shield or what they decide to do.
I would love that. I just love Arceus so much. Or whatever, the Pokemon Legends. I just want to play every single one.
Yeah, that would also be cool. Austin, what have you been playing besides Paper Mario?
I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring.
Oh, so tough.
It's actually a lot. So like, if a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's not going to be new Dark Souls. It's like its own thing," and it's very much Dark Souls 4, except it is a lot easier in many ways.
I feel like the way that you play it, it makes it a lot easier, like with multiplayer.
Well, that's how I've played all the previous Dark Souls as well, but like now for solo play, like it is much easier.
I would agree with that.
With a lot of the options that you have.
How do you make it easier?
So you've got like your horse that you can ride around on. There's something you unlock really early that allows you to kind of summon other things without like summoning people. You can summon like you'll find different spirits that you can summon, like a pack of wolves or things like that will help distract enemies while you come in behind and fight them, things like that.
Okay, wait. The lore of this game looks amazing, and you can talk to people and they say a lot of things, so that's why I want to play it, but I'm so bad at games. In this stupid game we have to talk about today, which I'm delaying, I can't even dodge in this game. Can I dodge in Elden Ring? No, probably not, right? I feel like you need to dodge.
It would be...
I feel like it's easier, personally, in Elden Ring.
Really?
Yeah.
While I've been playing it, I feel like... See, I don't know. You did just fine on Nier Automata, and that's a very action-heavy game, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
I can't.
I'll buy it.
You could try it for a couple hours, and if it's too hard for you, you could refund it, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than
You
that...
sold me.
I've been playing Yakuza 4 on my Steam Deck.
Ooh,
how
fancy.
is it, the Steam Deck? I don't care about it.
I love my Steam Deck.
Whoa.
It's been I was super hyped for it, but like for some reason, like I knew that I was gonna like the suspend feature, but it is so nice to have that feature. I've been playing Yakuza 4, which is marked as unsupported on the deck, and it runs really, really great. I haven't had any problems with it at all so far. The only weird thing has been, so like, you can launch non-Steam apps, and one of the first ones they suggest is like, you should install Chrome as a non-Steam app. That way you can open a browser while you're playing games if you need to like look at stuff. And so I was trying to look up something for this particular sub-story, and like my inputs on Chrome were getting passed through to the game. So I think that's why they marked it unsupported, but they're being very, very picky about what they mark as verified or playable, so, which is good.
Yeah,
But
it is good.
It's been great. So in Yakuza, you never know when you're going to be like going to a long gauntlet battle or like going to a very long cutscene, and it's got kind of a long startup process. So it's really nice to just be like, I'm going to the bathroom, and I get 5 minutes of like whatever cutscene I'm in the middle of, and then I go back to doing
Wow.
whatever I was on my on my computer.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Man, yeah, it's been really nice.
Nice. I got a Quest 2 recently, so I've been playing a lot of VR stuff. I played the stuff that comes with it, which was really cool, like that introduces you to the Quest 2. Had a lot of fun with that, and then played Super Hot VR, and of course Beat Saber. And I'm going to hopefully this week start Resident Evil 4 VR, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, I played some Dark Cloud recently. Just been like, I don't know, playing that every once in a while.
What's
I need to get on that. We said we were going to play that together, and I have not.
The very first level 5 game. It's and I love level 5. Yeah.
Yes.
It's on. It has like a. It's been like, I don't know if like ported is the right word, but like it basically it's like the PS2 version that you play on PS4, but it has like trophy support and everything.
Wow.
And that's the version I've been playing, and it's pretty good. It holds up still. Like the combat's kind of interesting, but besides that, it's really good. I really like it.
You would probably recognize the cover art, Mox. It's like it's a PS2 game, but it looks like you're going to be Link.
Yeah.
From the Zelda series.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so before we get started, though, just a reminder, this is Video Game Club, where every 2 weeks we discuss a game voted on by our wonderful friends in the Bombchu Discord, and discuss that game right here on twitch.tv/BombchuTV. If you can't catch us live, don't worry, you can catch us on YouTube and all major podcast services. And if you appreciate what you're hearing, please consider subscribing, rating, commenting, all those things. They really help us out, help more people find Video Game Club, and we really do appreciate it. As a reminder, the nominations for this episode were Horizon Zero Dawn, which I've been playing a little bit of as well, Paper Mario, and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening Remake, and Paper Mario 1. So we're going to talk about Paper Mario, and we're just going to do part 1 of Paper Mario, which is chapters, up to chapter, before chapter 5 starts, basically. And we're going to not talk about so usually we have like some sections, different sections that we go through. One of them is development, like just talk about like, some information about how the game was developed and stuff like that. We're going to skip that section, and we're also going to skip the section on the release, like how well it sold and what the reception was as well.
I can't wait for us to talk about the development next time, because this game is being held together by like duct tape and glue.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, we're just going to go like just like a general overview and dive into what the game is, and then the plot, and then our takes, of course. So let's get started. Paper Mario, an RPG developed by Intelligent Systems. You guys are familiar with Intelligent Systems, right?
Oh yeah.
Sounds familiar, but I don't like them. Whatever they've done, hopefully nothing I like.
You're gonna be surprised, Mox.
You're about to be crushed, girl. Yeah. So they most recently released the most recently released game that they've done is WarioWare Get It Together. But they've worked on the Paper Mario franchise, Fire Emblem, WarioWare, and Wars, like Famicom Wars, Advance Wars, etc. The first game they released was in 1983, and it was the NES version of Mario Bros. So, Mox, were you a fan of Fire Emblem Three Houses?
Not as much as I was. That one that was on the GameCube. I loved the GameCube.
Which is
Path
also
of Radiance?
Yes.
Which is also an Intelligent Systems game, I think. So you're torn, Mox. And of course, this game was published by Nintendo. It was released initially in Japan on August 11th, 2000, North America, February 5th, 2001, Europe, October 5th, 2001, and China on the iQ Player, June 8th, 2004. The iQ Player is like some sort of console that was like brought to, I think it's like a Nintendo 64-esque thing brought to China.
It's basically a console and a controller,
like all in one, right?
Yeah, and it does enough to bypass the law of can't sell video game consoles there. Like it's like enough. It does enough to not be a console.
A lot of speedrunners do things like they'll play through the IQ version. They have an IQ.
Yeah, sometimes it's faster.
Interesting. The engine that they used was some sort of proprietary engine.
It sucks. Okay, sorry.
So what was going on in 2001 in gaming? 2001 is considered, I think some people would say it's like one of the best years in gaming for some people. We had the GameCube and Xbox hardware releases. Software, we had Final Fantasy X, Gran Turismo 3, Grand Theft Auto 3, Halo, Metal Gear Solid 2, Advance Wars, Golden Sun, Sonic Adventure 2, and many, many others. I mean, 2001, let's see. I was 11 years old. What was I doing? I think I was probably playing a lot of Halo 1 at that point and Grand Theft Auto 3. That would have been me. Were you guys playing games in 2001?
Oh yeah, got my GameCube that year.
Animal Crossing.
Luigi's Mansion. Smash Brothers Melee. Wait, I guess did that come out like January the following year?
I think it was January the following year because it missed the launch, I think. Yeah. They wanted to have it at launch, though. I remember. 2001. Good year. I mean, it's crazy. Like, some people would say like some of these games are like the best like game ever, you know? Some. Anyway, we're not here to talk about all those games. We're here to talk about Paper Mario, which is a traditional-ish role-playing game that has some shared stuff from Mario. Like, you can jump. You can talk to Luigi.
Is he...
It's got some Mario mushrooms. Things in there. There's items like mushrooms.
The monsters are the same.
The enemies are Mario themed.
Yeah. So let's just talk about this game. So there's an overworld where you play as Mario. He's a flat paper. He's made out of paper. He's flat.
Not explained.
Yeah, unexplained. You can jump, and you can also use a hammer to break like physical obstacles or like hit like trees or interact with like certain things. You unlock the hammer not like almost right away, and the hammer also gets upgrades along the way that you play the game. There's also like a spin move that you can do. I didn't use it that much, but Austin, I think you said like you used it quite a bit once you got a badge for it.
Yeah, early on I got a badge that makes it go a lot faster and a lot further, and I spammed that. It is so useful. If you're playing this game, get the spin badge. I don't remember what it's called, but you definitely get that.
It's the only way to play.
Did you spin a lot, Mox?
It's how I travel.
Just constant spinning.
Yes, and like it makes you stop at the end of your spin, but if you do a quick jump, you'll land and then you can spin again.
Oh, okay.
And you can't do that jump if you stop in front of something that's interactive. So you gotta like be a little strategic about it.
Today I learned. Yeah. So in the overworld, there's a bunch of puzzles that you encounter.
Okay. Some
puzzles that you encounter that you have to use your party members to progress. Typically, and as the game goes on, you get more party members, and those allow you to get further in the game and get through like different obstacles that you couldn't have gotten past before. So let's talk about the party members that we have gotten so far. So we're not going to go into the ones that we haven't got yet, just ones that we got so far. And I want to know what your guys' takes on them. Like, do you like, don't like, use, don't use, etc. So let's start with Goombario. So he's the first party member that you get. He's a Goomba that's a big fan of Mario. I mean, he's named after you. And his little ability is that he can give you some additional info or hints on like a certain area that you're in. So depending on where you are on the map, you can press down on the C button and he'll talk to you about where you're at. Did you guys use Goombario much?
No. I accidentally upgraded him too, and I didn't mean to.
Wow, dang.
His upgrade is actually bugged in a really bad way.
Oh my god.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So the way that it works is like, you know, your jump ability where you can just like keep timing it properly. So on bosses, there's like a cap on that where it'll just like even if you do it correctly on the last input, it's just like nope, you've done enough damage. It's time to stop.
Oh, I
And
didn't know
on
that.
Goombario, once you hit that cap, it doesn't ever reset. So the next time you use the move on the boss, it just like you get to hit them twice, and then they go okay, bye.
Love it.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot of bugs in this game, but I used him for a while to. I would have him tattle on everything, which shows their health. I liked knowing how much health everything had, and then eventually it was just so tedious to bring him out for new enemies that I was just like, I don't care. I'll kill them.
Yeah, the only time I use him was like I will tattle on bosses if I'm like if I feel like it's taking a while. I'll be like, all right, how much health does this guy actually have?
Yeah.
But that's about it. The second party member that you unlock, his name's Cooper the Koopa. He's an adventure-loving young Koopa who dreams of becoming an archaeologist, like his childhood hero, who's named Colorado. He's an archaeologist and like explorer that you meet up in one of the regions of the game. He has his ability in the overworld is that you can use him. You can like basically like kick him like a Koopa. Like you can like use his shell. He like gets in shell form, and you can kick him, and he can reach items or hit switches that are kind of far away from you that you normally couldn't reach. I really like him. I used him a lot in the beginning.
He's
because,
OP.
Yeah,
OP as hell.
Yeah.
He
I
was
use him all the
great
time.
for the opening areas.
Yeah, really good. He's really good at like if there's a group of enemies, he can hit like every single one, which is really cool. Why do you guys say he's OP so much?
That's why.
Yeah.
Multi-hit.
Hitting all the enemies. There's a bunch of encounters after you get him for like a long time where it's like, hey, here's 4 enemies. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, that's a lot of people. How am I supposed? That's just break out Cooper, destroy them all.
Yep. There's the third party member that you get is Bombette. She's trapped in a fortress where you go and save one of the stars, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Her ability is that she can blow up walls. That's kind of it. I didn't really use her. I don't really use her in regular battles, but in the overworld, I mean, you have to solve certain puzzles.
Oh, I use her in bosses all the time. She can explode, one enemy, or she can explode all the enemies, and you just have to spam, a button.
Mhm.
And I can do that much more easily than I can do a timing button.
Does it do a lot of damage? I didn't really use her that much.
I can do 6 damage to like each person if I use her 6 FP ability.
Okay.
OP.
What about you, Austin?
On the Wii U gamepads, any of the A spam things don't work very well.
Oh my god.
So I
Oh,
can't really
God.
max out the bar. I can do it on anything else, and I could do it on the old N64. I owned this on N64. I broke out like my N64 and everything. I had the capture card set up, and I could not find the cartridge anywhere in my house. I was very cheesed, so I had to buy it on Wii U.
Oh my
And for some reason, anything involving A spam just does not work very well on the gamepad for me. But I don't know. I don't know why. So I don't use her.
Yeah. Then there's your fourth party member that you find, Parakarry. He's a postal worker who's like just horrible at his job. He's always losing letters, and you end up once you find him, like how you like get him to join your party is you find some letters that he lost, and then after that point, you continue to like have this like I don't know letter side quest thing that you go on where you're like, oh, this letter goes to this person, and then sometimes they'll give you a letter who goes to this person. So you basically play mail guy with Parakarry. His ability in the overworld is that he can carry you like a short distance. So he'll pick you up and fly over a gap. It looks like he struggles, even though Mario's made of paper and very small, but he struggles quite a bit just to carry you. In battle, I didn't really find a use for him, and I never use him.
I have to use him for, I had to use him for the longest time for in-air battles, just because he was the only one.
I would just have Mario jump on them, or if they're like stuck on the roof, I just do his like hammer ability.
It's Quake Hammer.
Yeah.
There were still times I found him handy to have every once in a while, but honestly, when you said his name, I was like, oh yeah, that's a character in this game.
Then the fifth party member that you get, Bo. She's the leader of.
Favorite.
She's my favorite too. She's the leader of the Boos at Boo Mansion. In the overworld, she allows you to be invisible, which is super helpful. And then also in battles, she also lets you become invisible as well. And people like miss you, which is really cool when they try to hit you. She has this move where she slaps people, and it is awesome. It does so much damage, and it's so just, I don't know, like, it just feels good to use. I don't know how to. It's just crazy. I think everyone here probably loved her. I'm assuming
she's she's the only one I use.
She's your main
when I'm walking around.
Yeah, same.
Sadly very ineffective against anything with defense.
I know, but she's so cute.
But everything else, she's great.
Yeah, and she does a lot of damage. She can smack them up. Your sixth party member and the last one that we got playing past chapter 4 was Watt. You save Watt from the big lantern boss in the toy box.
Hated that boss.
Huh?
I hated that boss. You have to. I don't know. It's like impossible to dodge things when there's such a big thing is attacking you.
Yeah. Watt can light up the dark and also can reveal some hidden like switches and items and stuff as well. She's super helpful for that, but I haven't really found like a really good reason for her yet. I think it's a her, pretty sure. Haven't found like a good reason to use her yet, but mainly I just stick with Bo. And it sounds like you guys probably mainly stick with Bo usually.
Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah.
Yeah. So that leads us kind of into like, and we kind of were already talking about this, but like the way that the battle system works. So we talked about the overworld already. While you're exploring, if you can jump on an enemy or swing your hammer at an enemy to get like a first strike on them, and then it goes into a battle sequence that is a very like traditional turn-based RPG battle. You have HP, FP, which is basically like mana. And then what you do is you have the ability to do like a basic attack or like an attack that uses that FP. Even though you have multiple party members, you can only have one out at one time assisting you. And the way that the battle system works is that I think every attack, pretty sure, has some sort of like quick time event associated with it. It could be that would you call it a quick time event? I think that's right, basically, or like some action that you have to do, like either button mash, or you have to like time something, or you have to move the joystick to the left and then to the right. There's just all kinds of different things. And another thing that you can use, you can also like when an enemy is attacking you, you can also press a button to like defend yourself from that attack. And if you time it just right, when you time it just right, like you don't take as much damage as well.
Just like kind of a way to give a little more activity and fun to turn-based battles.
Yeah, and
Fun?
I appreciated that. Go ahead, Mox.
It's so hard. I play it on my Switch using the whatever virtual, I forget what it's called.
Nintendo Switch Online service?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lag, or I don't know. So for the defending yourself ones, I feel like you have to hit it as soon as like the boss monster, whatever, touches you. But more often than not, I don't get it. And then and then like for the other ones, there's a prompt. Like it'll say, press A, and then it'll have a little A button on there. So I'm waiting for it to depress, and then I press A when it depresses, and it still doesn't work.
Yeah, the timing stuff was the attacking stuff I can do pretty easily. It helps that I just learned that like, oh, you can't like jump infinitely on boss, because I thought you could, and I was wondering why it would kick me off after so many times, because I thought I was doing good timing. But the defense I cannot do very well. Like I've tried, I don't know if it's what I'm playing on or what, but like I struggle. But it sounds like even like on Wii U, it's a bummer. Like no, I don't have it on 64, at least here where I'm at, and so I can't play it on 64 here. And it's kind of a bummer that we can't test on like native hardware to see like how it would be exactly.
Like some monsters, I got the timing down to where I could do it consistently, but like I could barely do that if like they're telegraphing correctly. A lot of monsters will do like very tricky, like either something super fast, or they'll like run at you and then stop and then be like, I'm gonna jump and do it. Like, and some attacks aren't like direct hits, so it's like, when are you supposed to? It's weird. It's not a very clearly conveyed window when you're supposed to push it. Sometimes I thought I was definitely supposed to have it, and it didn't give it to me. But
Yeah. After each battle, you gain experience. You need 100 experience to level up. A little fun fact about experience is that not every enemy will give you experience. Like if you go back to an area that you were at before, and the enemies are maybe a bit easier for you, you will get just like no experience, which kind of made me upset because there's like no grind really. Like by going back to the easier areas, I guess you could just stay in like the area that you're supposed to be in and grind. But I would think eventually they stop giving you experience as well.
they do.
So yeah. But when you do level up, you get to choose to upgrade your health, your mana or FP, or your badge count. And we haven't really talked about badges yet, but badges are basically like ability cards, kind of. They're just like little things that cost so many points. You equip them, and they have like little perks to them. Like one of them will give you like more health or more FP, or one allows you to like do a new ability that you couldn't do before. One they have like passives that like, oh, this one will like heal you randomly, like 1 HP during a battle or something. Some of them cost 0 and they just change sound effects as well. Did you guys use any of those?
No.
I found one, but I didn't use it.
I also didn't use it. Do you guys have like a favorite badge that like stood out to you, or one that you like?
The spin badge.
Yes.
Get the spin badge. Make sure you get the spin badge.
There's also one that lets you, if you successfully block, you can like block an extra point of damage, and then another one that I think is 6 points that I put on for boss battles, which universally decreases the damage Mario takes by 1.
Oh,
nice.
I haven't used those, but that sounds good.
The healing over time one is nice, and
Yeah.
I just also got the one to do that for FP.
Ooh.
So between those, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Something we didn't talk about yet is that there's also these things called like star pieces that you can find all over the overworld, and you can use them by going to a certain area to buy badges. There's also like badge stores as well. Then there's also consumable items as well that you can buy, like little things that'll heal you or do like attack to every like 3 damage to 1 unit, or stuff like that. Heal you from this like, I don't know, like poison or whatever they have. I haven't really.
Frustratingly, you can only carry 10 items at a time.
Yeah,
and
you can check them in though to the store.
You can, but if you're out in the middle of like a dungeon and you're getting items, like I'm prepped for this dungeon, they're like, here's an item. Okay, well I don't need to use any of my stuff, and now I've got this one. What do I want to throw away? Like it just feels bad. It feels bad.
It does feel bad to throw items away. That is true.
Also, the shops are always like at the ends of the level. And so if I want to go back to a shop from an earlier level, like let's say to the desert, I have to walk all the way through the desert just to get some pasta.
Just to get some pasta.
So Mox, are you did you not unlock the fast travel system?
Nope. I have no idea how to.
You have not.
I can tell you about that offline.
Okay.
If you're gonna keep playing.
We can.
We'll see.
Okay, we can put that. We can talk about that during the spoiler
fact
section.
That it hasn't prompted. I see these little yellow squares everywhere, and I'm like, what do I do with this? Who do I talk to about this? I don't know.
You'll find it. You'll find out.
It sounds like you haven't fully explored Toad Town yet.
Correct.
Okay.
For someone who talks to every NPC, you're not doing a good job of exploring.
Ugh. It's probably behind that stupid private pipe that I can't beat. The blooper.
You haven't beat the blooper? You should really try to beat that blooper.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think your life would be a lot easier.
That would be nice.
You might actually enjoy the game.
I don't know. That's
I don't know about that. It would definitely make it easier to go get pasta.
All right, let's talk about Mox's favorite sections, probably. So when you're not playing as Mario, after certain chapters and you do certain things, you can play as Princess Peach.
Yay!
They're like, what would you call them? Like little epilogues, I guess, of the chapter.
Little interlude.
Interludes. They're really just, I don't know, charming, really nice little missions that you do, and typically they're stealth based. I think at least the ones that I've done.
Every single one.
They're all stealth so far. Princess Peach is trapped in her own castle, which we'll talk about here in a bit. But you get to run around the castle as Princess Peach, do little things that help Mario. And then after that little section's done, then you go back to Mario. And it seems like there's a pattern of like chapter with Mario, little section with Peach, chapter with Mario, little section with Peach. At least so far, every chapter has been like that.
Yes.
Okay. Before we start talking about the plot and like, walk through like what was the prologue like for you and what was chapter 1 like and chapter 2 and chapter 3, etc. and until we get to the dreaded chapter 4, is there anything about Paper Mario that I missed that you guys wanted to touch on? I guess we didn't talk about save points. You can't save at any time. You have to find like a save block to hit to save. And then also there's like a heart block as well that will fully heal you and give you a FP as well that you can hit at any time. You just have to find them.
I will say...
we didn't talk about the spirits stuff. Did we? The spirit powers?
The star powers?
Yeah, those are like plot. I don't know.
Yeah, they're a little bit related to the plot, but basically you'll unlock a new ability eventually where you have this like star power meter and you'll get little special abilities and they're pretty dang strong. The first one that you get is really good, which we can dive into that. But those are all the abilities. What were you going to say, Austin?
So level ups don't give you any other stat boosts other than like the thing that you pick. So you had like when you get more health or more mana or more badge points, that's it. You're not getting a power increase or any other like stat increases of any kind. So like if you're doing 1 damage, you're doing 1 damage until you get like a weapon upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Or a badge.
Or a badge.
Yep.
And there was this guy in town that took away 2 upgrades to change 1.
Mm-hmm. Gotta watch out for that.
I undid that.
I also undid that.
Thankfully saved right before I talked to him, but
I didn't think that through.
Oh,
doesn't tell you.
No, he doesn't.
That's this game. It like talks. There's so much text. Usually I like text, but they repeat the same text boxes over and over again, and it takes so long to get through them. And then they don't tell you other things.
And they're not like telling you anything great with all that text.
There's no lore.
But some of it's cool.
Like 1%.
Most of it's just like chatting.
Yeah.
Like just empty chatter.
Yeah.
It's games with a lot of dialogue without much to say really just drive me bananas.
Me too, because I feel compelled to read it.
That's fantasy life in a nutshell.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is.
You're coming for fantasy life.
That is.
Do what?
Why are you coming after Fantasy Life? What's wrong with Fantasy Life?
It's a great game. I love that
Fantasy
game.
Life is
that
amazing.
Story is so
awful.
awful.
All the side quests are in the story and the chatter is just stupid. Yes.
It is so much dialogue about nothing.
I will say this about little tangent on Fantasy Life. I will say this about Fantasy Life that I do like is that they allow you to skip the tutorial of the job. Do you guys remember that?
Sure. I wish they would let me skip cutscenes because, like, I think I spent half of my time in that game just spamming through dialogue and cutscenes, and it still would take me like 20 minutes to get through a section of story.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know. That text is way more interesting to me than this text.
PSA.
Fantasy Life's way more interesting than Paper Mario.
PSA, if you want to like buy Fantasy Life legit and buy the expansion, you need to do it for your 3DS before May.
Yeah.
Same with Paper Mario if you have a Wii U.
Also,
and don't want to do the terrible Switch
and
Online version.
And if you have a 3DS and don't have Pocket Card Jockey yet, please buy that game. It's worth every penny. Like every single
one. I should probably do that.
It's so good. It is so good,
Austin.
Austin.
This at the beginning of the video. These are PSAs that are important.
Yeah, it's true. All right, I'm going to throw on the spoilers tag.
We only give useful PSAs to our dedicated viewers who make it halfway into the video.
All right, so the game starts off. Princess Peach has invited you and Luigi to a party.
As always, since time immemorial.
True. Bowser crashes the party. Who would have thunk,
same
right?
As always.
He lifts the castle into the sky. He challenges Mario to a fight. And Bowser is super powerful because he has this item called the Star Rod. It makes him invincible, and he dominates you. You get thrown from the castle. You fall to the ground. You wake up in Goomba Village. You do like a little tutorial area. You do like some questing and stuff. But Goombario joins your team, and you leave for Toad Town. Before you go to Toad Town, I think it's like when you get to Toad Town, you also go to the Shooting Star Summit, and that's where you learn about the Star Spirits that you need to save, and that's the way that you'll be able to beat Bowser. So basically, Bowser like stole this Star Rod, and then he took these Star Spirits. This is what we know so far. So if
this is also where you get like the best music in the game.
Yes, oh my lord.
The soundtrack peaks very early.
I was like, I don't even remember this.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Like,
Okay, I'll send you the song after this. Like this
I appreciate it.
The song for this section is like phenomenal. It's just
especially with like all the stars like falling down into the area.
So good. But on that summit you talk to these like star spirits. They come back as like spirits, as ghosts. And they talk to you and tell you like, "Oh, come please save us," and that's how you can defeat Bowser and blah blah blah. There's also like some magicians there that you can talk to. One of them will like give you hints at where items are for coins, which is good because you get a ton of coins. And then another one will exchange badges for the star shards or star pieces. Yeah. So that's the prologue. Then chapter 1 starts. You have to fight King Goomba. You go back to Toad Town. You go to Koopa Village. It's infested by fuzzies. You have to like free all the Koopas from the fuzzies. You make friends with Cooper. He joins your party. Then you go to Koopa Fortress, and that's where you find Bombette, and you save Eldstar. And Eldstar is the first star that you save. He's also the first power that you get, and the power that you get is like this heal plus FP power. It does 5 HP and 5 healing. The star powers,
and for some reason, Eldstar is also in Mario Party 5.
Yeah, I was about to talk about that.
Sorry.
So no, it's okay. So whenever I saw the Star Spirits the first time, I've never played Paper Mario. Just heads up. At least to this part. Whenever I saw the Star Spirits, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's the Mario Party 5 stars from the menu!" And I had no idea they had an origin that was like before that. And so, man, and they're all in there, and they're all like a lot higher definition than what they are in this, and they look really cool. And it's all of them, like even the blue one, like the girl one with the bow, like everything. It's really cool.
I was a Mario Party 4 girl, so I missed out on 5.
4 is also good. 5 is they're different, but I really like 5 and 4. They're both good.
Way better than the newest one. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, gosh, the newest one. Yeah. Where's that DLC for real? Just give it to us. Instead, thank you. Instead, they're like, "Here's Mario Kart tracks." Okay. So the star power thing, it charges over time, but you can also do a move that charges it as well, which is pretty cool. So next, you learn that the next spirit is in Dry Dry Desert. This game, by the way, was like a late release for 64, right?
Oh yeah,
like super late. Like GameCube came out that year, so
yeah.
And to me, like seeing all these like places, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this from like 64 and stuff. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so you go to Dry Dry Desert. You have to climb this mountain, and when you climb this mountain to get there, you meet Parakarry. You do like his letters thing, and then Parakarry joins your party. And you eventually go to the Dry Dry Outpost, and then you can unlock this area called the Dry Dry Ruins. But before we get there, did you guys beat the bird? The bird has a name, but I can't remember it. But
no, I passed him up both times.
No.
On the way there and on the way back.
I beat him.
Bird.
So in the desert part, when you go to it's like a vulture. When you go across this like bridge, this bird is like guarding it, and he'll be like, "Hey, I'm looking for Mario. Are you Mario?" And you can be like, "Yes," or you can say like, "No, I'm Luigi," or "No, I'm so and so." Did you fight him?
I did fight him. And the first time I said, "Why would I lie?" So I said, "Yeah, I'm Mario," and he's like, "I gotta fight you then."
Yeah.
I didn't. I figured he would fight me either way, regardless of what I said.
Same. Also same. But did you...
I fought him on N64 when I first played the game, and I don't remember everything about it, but when I saw him this time, I was like, something tells me this was a terrible fight.
It was.
I'm gonna lie and Sam Luigi.
It was
I
Ben.
probably have to fight him anyways. And he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can go then." And I was like, "Oh, sweet, okay."
You go to the Dry Ruins. You fight a boss there, and then you get the second Star Spirit, Mamar, I think is who that is. Then you go. I forget what their power is that they give you.
Puts enemies to sleep, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, yep, you're right. Then chapter 3, you go to the Forever Forest. Austin, you got a little. You weren't a big fan of the forest.
Ugh.
It was just really long. Like, it's super long. Yeah, there's like a little puzzle to it. You have to find the different. It's kind of like the Lost Woods. If you go in the wrong exit, you go back to the beginning. Right.
Yep.
But if you find the exit that has something a little different about it, then you go to the next room. And there are so many rooms. It just keeps going for a very long time, like a lot longer than it should have. For the gimmick that they were doing, like that should not have been that many rooms.
Yeah, it was kind of a long way. You go through the Forever Forest, you get to the mansion, you go in there. It's not as scary as the 64 level, thank God. But Bo's in there. You find out that Bo captured a Star Spirit and that she will set it free, but you need to help her beat the invincible Tubba Blubba, who eats booze.
I don't understand that. They're incorporeal.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even weirder is he releases them like undigested. How does he get any sort of nutrients from them?
Mox over here asking the real questions. Yeah, good. I mean, yeah. You go.
He's just hiding Luigi in there with his poltergeist.
I guess.
Seriously.
That'd be the only plausible explanation.
You go to the mansion. You find clues to like how you can beat him because he's invincible. It turns out his heart is located in this like windmill type thing. You go in there and then you fight him. You beat him.
Literally beat up his heart.
Yeah. Bo joins you,
Yeah.
and you free and the third Star Spirit Scholar. I think this is when your star power increases. I think so.
You get it for
It
each
increases
one.
every time you get a
Oh,
star.
it does? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Bo joins your party permanently.
It was not, this boss was not clearly a boss battle. I thought I just had to go beat this heart up. I didn't think it was going to be tough, so I wasn't prepared. So I didn't even heal before, like, I figured I'd have to go back to the...
Oh, no.
I know.
This game is really bad
Yes.
about not letting you know when you're about to fight a boss.
It is really bad about that. And it punishes you because, oh, did you not save? Like, I had to redo the that dungeon, the one that we were just talking about. I had to redo that because I died, and then sorry, I didn't save right away. So God, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah, very, very, very punishing.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about chapter 4.
Nah.
You go back to Toad Town. There's a Shy Guy problem. You use your new ability with Bo to be invisible while you spy on a Shy Guy that walks through this door. The Shy Guys have like just taken a bunch of stuff, and what you get to do is go in this toy box, which is going in toy box, cool. Becoming small, Honey, I Shrunk the Paper Mario, very cool.
Everything inside looks super fun,
Yeah.
but bright and colorful.
But I'll tell you what's not cool, having to leave to like basically do fetch quests to progress this toy box. But it's not only that. It's not only that you have to leave this box to do a fetch. That's not the issue. The issue is that eventually you get a train, and you can take this train around there. Can you like do it at every station? No. You can't leave the box at any station. It has to be like the red one or whatever. And it is so frustrating because to travel on this train, you have to talk to somebody. You have to say, yes, I want to go here. Then you have to get in the
First
train.
you have to jump on a button.
Oh,
Don't forget to jump on the button.
Jump on a button, then talk to a person. Then
Where do you want to go?
then you have to
Cutscene.
go in the train, then cutscene. And like, oh my God, it's awful. It's so
and every
bad.
Very
time you
tedious
land,
chapter.
he has to say, next stop, Blue Station. I hate that.
It was awful. But you go through that, you do your little fetch quest, you get your 6 party member, Watt. She's super helpful at lighting stuff, and we already talked about it, helping you find things that aren't there. The other thing that happens about this part is that like is it Kami Koopa? Is that her name? The like little witch.
Yes.
she like asks Peach like, what should I put in this dungeon for him? What does he hate?
What does Mario hate the most?
And then if you tell him like items that you love, they put them there, and that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But you have to fight this like general of the Shy Guys. You defeat him, and then you get your 4-star spirit, Muscular. And that is when I stopped. But you guys played the little interlude after.
Mox did. I did not.
You bake a cake.
I mean, I've played it before, but yeah.
You bake a cake.
You're in your castle, and you know the horribly named star that helps you around. His name is Twink.
Yeah, Twink.
No one thought that through. I can't. Well, maybe it became parlance later.
I don't.
Whatever.
I don't. Okay.
Oh my god! You need to Google it.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I really want to know when the word twink came into our parlance. I can't imagine it was. Urban Dictionary
it was after that.
2004 is like an early Urban Dictionary entry here. So they were just a little bit too early. But in any case, this little star says, "Hey Peach, they've been quiet. We should go walk around the castle." So you do. And you find the gourmet Shy Guy. I think they call him a gourmet guy.
Yeah, gourmet guy. Yeah, the guy who wants the cake.
Yes, and he's like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be out, but if you bake me a cake, I won't tell anybody that you're here." And then gives you a key to go down to the kitchen. And then it's like a little cooking mama thing where Twink tells you like, "Hey, make sure you get these 2 ingredients." And then you put them in. And then he's like, "Okay, do you want to move on to the next step or do you want to start over?" So it's like, okay, I'm not going to mess it up. And then the last part is, okay, it has to bake for 30 seconds. No more, no less. But it doesn't give you a timer.
Really?
So, what I did was
personally time it.
Yes, so I had my phone up with the stopwatch. I was ready for this. I pressed A on my controller and the stopwatch at the same time, waited until it was 30 seconds, got my cake. He loved it. He's like, this is great. I'm good. Yep, I'm done. I got my cake. I'm good.
Hell yeah.
He leaves.
That's awesome.
There's something with that where if you let it go over, I think it's if you wait like some number of years while it keeps running, then you get a chance at it again.
Oh my gosh.
or it just auto succeeds or something like that.
Gosh.
I forget.
That's crazy. Okay. There was one other thing that I've missed on, which was Peach can there's this like chest where she can throw items in that Mario can claim. It's like a magic chest. So that happens a bit, but not that much, I feel.
So you can find badges around
Yeah.
her castle, and you can put them in the chest, and then Mario can collect them from the
Star
Summit.
Yep. Okay. That is how far we got. That is the plot of how far we got so far.
Such as it is.
Mox, turning the spoilers tag off. Give us your personal take so far and how you've been playing this game. You've been playing on the Switch Online.
Yes, which I swear has input lag, even though I just looked it up and apparently there was a patch of some sort to reduce it. I don't believe it. But this game just takes so long. I feel like I can imagine Austin saying in a previous video, like, it's not respectful of my time. Text takes so long to get through and it's uninteresting. There's no deep lore in this game. Listening to someone talk about garbage does not do it for me. And then I have to see the same text over and over again. And luckily you can press B, to skip through it real fast. But it still takes time. Or like when you use a star power in a battle. There's like a dumb cutscene that's, I don't know, it feels like it's like 30 seconds. It's probably 5 or 10. But it's just so long. I'll like set my game down and like do something else while I'm waiting for that thing to happen. Because I just get so frustrated seeing the same long cutscenes over and over again. And because I didn't unlock this fast travel system that I assumed was coming, but I guess you get sooner than since I haven't gotten it. I walk everywhere, and I just hate walking everywhere. It's so far, and it's really hard to like avoid enemies sometimes, and it takes so long to like get in the battle and then to cycle through.
Yeah,
and each person does their attack. Everything takes so long, and that is my complaint. I don't know. I I mean, a little bit faster pace would be great. I wish I could, crank up you can usually crank up the speed that you like render things in an emulator. This isn't like that, unfortunately, even though I can do like save states and stuff. I just wish I could make it like 1.5x, 2x.
Okay. So far, not a fan.
No, I hate it. I asked if we could skip next week or in 2 weeks, but they said no.
I said no. Put the hammer down.
Mm.
Austin.
So
Talk to us.
I enjoyed this game the first time that I played it on N64 back in the day when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But these days, I never ever found myself being like, I should play Paper Mario again. So when it got picked for this, I was just like, oh, geez. In a lot of ways, it feels like, Tyler, I was telling you about this. Like, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest is kind of looked down upon for being too simple. It's kind of like a beginner's RPG.
Yeah,
right?
you're a Final Fantasy Mystic Quest apologist, we know.
I'm not an apologist. I think it has a great soundtrack, and I think there's some really cool features in it, like being able to tell how dead your enemy is, or how close to dead your enemy is based on like their image changes as you hit them, stuff like that. There's some cool stuff in there. Anyways, I think this would also be a good beginner RPG for part of it, and then all of a sudden there's like kind of a difficulty spike where it's like not as like a lot of the more complicated systems aren't there, which makes it simpler to like digest, but it gets more difficult as you go in. I don't like that level ups feel they feel very weak, and it takes a long time to level up, and they have anti-grinding systems in there. And so like regular battles, all battles feel very unrewarding.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like there's no reason to take part in them unless I have to. So I will always try to just bypass battles now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found myself doing the same.
If I'm like really close to leveling up or something like that, or I just really want some more badge points or something, that I'm like, okay, I'll go fight a couple of things, but there's not really much reason to keep fighting stuff in the area or like clear all the enemies out of an area. The story's pretty weak.
What
the
story?
whole 7-star yeah, exactly. The whole 7-star plot was ripped out of the previous game, Super Mario RPG.
I was going to say, I recognized it.
Well, this was going to be called Super Mario RPG 2 initially, and then they changed the name.
Well, Square,
and I guess that was because they didn't want to.
Square was working on Final
Square
Fantasy
Enix.
VII, right, at that time.
Yeah, things had soured with Square, I guess, and I think Super Mario RPG does a lot of what's kind of cool about this game. I think is done better in Mario RPG for the most part.
So you would rather play Super Mario RPG?
Oh my god, so much more. I would rather play them.
Okay.
I hear Thousand Year Door is a great Paper Mario game. And I have played Mario and Luigi, which I think takes the like more active turn-based battle system and does like I think that's a more intuitive way of doing like some of the cooler stuff that's in here.
Yeah.
One to check out. There's a 3DS remake of the first one that I would recommend checking out in one way or another.
I had never played this game, but I had played Super Paper Mario, so I was like, this game must be just as good if everybody loves it. No.
A lot of people who like Paper Mario hate Super Paper Mario.
That's what I was thinking. Like, ugh.
I actually think there's a lot of cool stuff in that game.
It has a great story.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's an interesting twist on the gameplay. I still want to play Thousand Year Door at some point.
Yeah,
but replaying this has been a slog. And I don't think this is a game that is worth revisiting. I think it's cool that there was like an actual kind of big RPG on the N64 because it did not have very many RPGs. And if your other option is like plus 64, like oh my god. I guess there was a couple other things, but it came out so late.
Yeah,
and it's just like barely being held together. And it just, if battles were a little bit more rewarding, like if I could power up a little bit, or faster. Yeah, good lord.
Or you could auto do it like Dragon Quest 11.
Sure. I mean, it's not like, yeah. It just every time I boot it up, it's like, okay, gonna play Paper Mario.
Wow. Well, I am the exact opposite of you guys.
Oh my god.
I love this game so far, but I should say
Oh
that
my god. Get out of here.
I am
Get
not.
out.
I am playing an emulated version with an HD texture pack, so it looks a lot better as well. Well, some of the textures, it's not fully completed HD texture pack, so it's really funny when like a sprite comes on that like doesn't have a texture because it really shows. But I think it looks pretty good though, even without that. Like for a Nintendo 64 game, I like that the combat's really fun. I like that it's challenging. However, I was really bummed about Chapter 4. Like I really didn't like it. I hated the train. I hated having to go back and forth. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it so much. If other chapters are like Chapter 4, I'm gonna just put it out there. I think Chapter 4, maybe that was an intern level, all right? So maybe Chapter 5 and up will be a lot better, but
You had better hope so.
I do hope so. My favorite party member so far is Bo. I think we've already talked about it, but man, I love using her so much. But I like the story so far. I like once you're able to travel, once you're able to use the fast travel system, it gets a lot better. I'm having like,
I mean, if you're really visiting like past areas, but
I only do it for the recipes to make food.
Yeah.
Like it's helpful, but it's not like if I didn't have it, I would just be like, I'm not going.
Yeah,
back to
that's
that
fair.
spot.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, we'll see how the next 4 chapters are. But I'm hoping it
instant way to improve this game. Checkpoints.
Yep. Check
without like not the save states, or not save points rather, but
checkpoints like right before a boss or something.
Dude, especially for surprise bosses, because that's just silly.
Yeah.
Surprise bosses are silly.
Yeah.
That for especially when, it's silly. They should have had checkpoints.
So yeah, we're gonna play part 2, or some of us will, and
I'll play it. I don't guarantee I'll finish it, but at least I'm gonna go and try
start
and get the whatever thing, the fast travel system.
And then during the next episode, we'll talk more into the development. I know Austin, you're like pretty familiar. Like you sent me like a lot of videos about interesting stuff that's in there, like interesting bugs and things. So that'll be really cool to talk about. And then we'll see how it was, how did people like it at the time? Like, and how well did it sell and stuff like that as well. But yeah, that was a little dive in our take on part 1 of Paper Mario, and part 2 will be focused on Chapter 5 onwards. So if you're like, oh, I haven't played yet, like go ahead and start. And like, if you're really into this game, you can finish it in 2 weeks for sure. Thank you everyone for joining. Again, just as a reminder, you can catch us here on twitch.tv/BombchuTV every 2 weeks at 2 Eastern, with the next stream being on March 27th. If you can't make the live session, don't worry. You can find the episode up on YouTube and all major podcast services. Austin, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me. Everyone get the spin badge. If you play this game, get the spin badge. Get the spin badge.
Even Toby wrote to get the spin badge in chat.
If you take one thing away from this video, get the spin badge. Please get the spin badge.
Mox, thank you for joining us. Any words of advice you'd like to leave for people as well?
I would like to remind everybody that they need to get Pocket Card Jockey.
Yes.
On the 3DS.
Yeah. Them stores be closing. Nintendo hates its history. It's get Pocket Card Jockey. It's a Game Freak game. It's solitaire, but with horse racing. It's really, really, really fun. It's so good. I'm Tyler. This was Video Game Club episode 44, part 1 of Paper Mario, and we're out of here.